What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Bowl Season 1, Episode 12, Stockholm Syndrome. So, I've said a lot of things about this show. I've been excited for certain reasons. I've been kind of hesitant to get too excited for other reasons. But one of the things that I've really enjoyed so far this season is the fact that they've decided to make this a show all about the psychology of trials. They could have made it a crime show where every time there's a case and there's some sort of mystery to be solved and that's all it is, just another crime show. They could have made it all about psychology, like Lie to Me, which I'll admit, I love that show. But, it's just all about psychology can get boring at times unless you have an interesting enough premise like Lie to Me did. But they decided to go with trial science, the psychology behind a trial. And I just think that opens up so many doors to so many situations. And this is the perfect example of it. I mean, this entire episode, I'm thinking, what is this all about? Like, what does this mean? Because, like I said, it's not a crime show, so I'm not expecting there to be some mystery like, oh, who actually did it? I'm not expecting us to try to find the clues. It's just explaining the psychology of it all. The explanation of, okay, so this woman believes that stuff. Her husband was not like this at all, and that there's no possible way he could do this, and so she sets off a bomb just to get them to help her get him out of jail. And so it's just like, is this woman crazy? But you see Bull, and it seems like he's taking her side, and he believes her story, and so they put Danny, who apparently was a witness at this guy's trial, she was a witness, but she didn't actually. No, she did get up there. I can't remember if she got up on the stand or not. Anyway, but she was involved in this, and she's the one that put him away because of her witness testimony, because she was an FBI agent at the time. And so it's almost like Bull is just questioning her and her abilities back then. Like, were you under narcotics? And just keeps just hounding her with more and more questions. And you're just like, Bull, what are you doing? Like, do you really believe that Danny is that poor at her job? And so all this time it's just going on, and then at the very end, Bull just turns it around. Her husband just got declared not guilty by this mock jury of people who just happened to be there when the bomb went off. And so he just turns it around in an instant and says, that's one way it could have gone. Look how easily I was able to manipulate the facts and weave a new narrative. And so all of a sudden he just turns around and says, if I were doing Benny's cross-examination, turns to Danny and says, so how long was he on your radar? And just starts bringing up the fact that the two guys that were working with him knew about his wife. And then it's just like, so when you saw the guy that night, what was he wearing? And just goes through all of the list, and she just lists it off like that. Everything that he was wearing, every detail about him, his hair, his eye color, all of it. She just lists it. And at that point, the jury's just like, okay, yeah, he's actually guilty. And that was the point of it. It's so interesting to see how Bull weaved this whole narrative just to show this woman, hey, look, people can be fooled very easily by the stories that we spin. And at that point, that's when she realized, holy crap, he actually is guilty. He actually did do it. And of course, we get kind of an interesting scene where we see him in the prison, and it looks like he's about to get beat up. And so the guy's coming and it's just like, hey, it's your time. And he breaks off part of his glasses and sticks it in the guy's throat. And you're just like, oh, yeah, he really is a killer. But it was such an interesting episode because it wasn't a mystery. It wasn't like we're trying to figure out, oh, is this guy really guilty or not? It was just, you learn a bit about how trials work. You learn a bit about the science and the psychology going on in a trial. You learn a bit more about Danny as well and what she went through as an FBI agent. I mean, it's just all of this stuff going on, and it's just fun to watch. It's so fun to get invested and be like, I want to find out what's going to happen next. I want to find out, is her husband actually guilty? Why does she believe that he's not guilty? What's going on? Why does she think Danny was wrong with her testimony? All of this stuff is such an interesting concept for the show, and they keep utilizing it very, very well. So, yeah, in my opinion, this was a really great episode. A couple of things just to talk about more individually focused instead of on the broad picture. One of the scenes that I really loved in this episode has to be just this. All the team stuff going on in this episode was really, really good. But I loved getting to see them bringing in this mock jury because it's a side of them that we haven't really gotten to see before, which is more like teaching. We've seen them being informative whenever they're bringing in, like a client or a lawyer and they're talking to them and they're informing them of what's going on. But this was like a teaching perspective. Chunk is outside with all the people, he's talking to them, and they bring him inside, and there's Marissa and Benny, and they're giving their spiel and making jokes and stuff at each other's expense. It was just very interesting to see that. Another scene that I really enjoyed was definitely just seeing Bull be this kind of, not really a mentor in this case, but you could tell he was the leader. And it was the moment where he's talking to Benny about putting Danny on the stand and what he's going to do whenever she's up there, and she's just right there listening to him pretty much say he's going to call her entire testimony into question. But it feels like he's doing it not to be harsh, but it's like he's doing it to get to the truth. And it was very plain in the way he said it and just how he presented it. And even though we find out at the end it was more to just kind of throw that narrative into question, it's still very nice to see him step up in these moments and be like, I'm the leader here. Even if you don't agree with me, it's what I'm going to do because I'm in charge. And we haven't had a whole lot of time with him like that. We've always seen him as just kind of the, he's doing his job and that's about it. He's not really taking charge of the team and being like, okay, so this is what we're doing right now. We've had, I think the only episode with that was when he had to go back to his hometown. I think then he kind of took charge. But the rest of the episodes, aside from like one scene where it's just like he'll tell everybody to go do something, the rest of it is all just him being Bull. In this one, we got to see him a lot more in that in-charge position of, I'm doing this, I'm right, you pay attention and learn from me. So it was just a very well done episode, in my opinion. Good start to the episode with you bring in a girl and all of a sudden she blows up your building. Yeah, that's a pretty exciting way to start. So it was just a lot of fun to find out what this episode was about, to find out all the stuff going on, to find out that kind of twist at the end that, oh, this was all part of Bull's plan the entire time. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Hopefully they keep doing stuff like this, keep things sort of mixed up week after week, so it's not always just, oh, we go to trial, we go do this, and then we find out not guilty or guilty. So, yeah, really enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? Let me know, we can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Bull reviews, and I'll see you with the next one. Peace out.